All right. If you've come looking for day 117, you've come to the right place. Okay, so the first thing that we have is capitalization. Do that on your own, and you can check it at the end of the video. So let's move right along to punctuation. For today, there's a new topic being addressed, and that is verbals. Place a comma before and after a verbal within a sentence. For example, her mother, determined, turned the screwdriver faster. The lion, agitated, paced. Okay, so a verbal is a verb form used not as a verb, but as a modifier. Okay, so in that first sentence, the verb is turned. Her mother turned the screw faster, but determined is describing the mother, so it's a verbal. Same thing with the lion. Okay, so that's what a verbal is. Let's see if you can find the verbal in this sentence. When the puppy wouldn't budge, its owner, frustrated, stooped down and exclaimed, "No, no." All right, so first I want you to find the verbal. Actually, that can be your bonus point for this video. Circle the verbal. All right, when the puppy wouldn't budge, what do we have right there? You've been learning that in composition, your different types of sentence starters. This is one of the www.asia.b sentence starters, which means it's a clausal, which begins with when, and you're going to go, oh, I know, I need a comma somewhere when I see that. When the puppy wouldn't budge, comma. All that was to tell you there's a comma after that. When the puppy wouldn't budge, comma. All right, but in that introductory phrase that requires a comma, you'll see the word wouldn't. That is a contraction. And you would hopefully remember that you need to put the apostrophe between the N and the T because the O is missing. So wouldn't, N apostrophe T. When the puppy wouldn't budge, comma. Its owner, frustrated. So you're going to have its owner, comma, frustrated, comma, because frustrated is a what? Okay. When the puppy wouldn't budge, its owner, comma, frustrated, comma, stooped down and exclaimed. What would come after exclaimed? Because we're getting ready to put something in quotation marks. Hopefully you remember it's a comma. Because now she's exclaiming, no, no. So we have quotation marks before the first no, and then an exclamation point. No, exclamation point, end of quotations. All right, let's take a look and see if what I have here matches what I said. When the puppy wouldn't budge, comma, its owner, comma, frustrated, comma, stooped down and exclaimed, comma, no, no. And you see how there's exclamation points in the quotation marks. Okay, so for just a second, I want to take a stop here because you'll see up here's the word its. Why is it its without an apostrophe here? Its owner, that's showing possession. Okay, so there's no apostrophe. You only use apostrophe F's if it means it is. So when the puppy wouldn't budge, it is owner, that doesn't make sense. So there would be no apostrophe. Its owner shows possession instead. Okay, fun little fact. Remember, mark the verbal in that sentence with a circle. All right, let's take a look now at pronouns. They want you to circle the correct pronoun. So what we're looking at here, we just had a case of its versus its. Now we have a case of nominative versus objective. That's what they're looking for in this little section. They want to see if you remember when you use the nominative form of a pronoun and when you use the objective form of a pronoun. The nominative is used for subjects and predicate adjectives, and the objective form is used for direct objects, indirect objects, and objects of the preposition. If you need a refresher list of which pronouns are nominative and which pronouns are objective, please go to day 93. That was the last time, I believe, that you had a list of them. So go back to look if you're feeling rusty, or you're going to get this section wrong. All right. So let's take a look at how these pronouns are being used in the sentence, and that'll help us figure out which form is the correct one. Has your friend or she tried doing graphics on the computer? All right, what have we talked about in the past when you're trying to determine parts of speech and how things are functioning? When you have a question in your mind, you want to change that question into a statement. So we have a question here. To make it easier to determine what the parts of speech are, change that question into a statement. So instead of has your friend, you would say your friend has tried. All right, so now it starts to become a little bit more clearer. Your friend or something has tried. Friend is the subject, has tried is the verb, so you know, because these are joined by the word or, this is also going to be a subject, right? Okay, then you know that it's going to be, if it's a subject, remember over here, that puts it in the nominative case. Which of these pronouns is in the nominative case? She is. So the correct answer is she. All right, let's take a look at the next sentence. Jackie, Lars, and I or me attend jewelry making classes. All right, we know that Jackie, Lars, and something is going to be the subject, and the verb is attends. If it's subject, that puts it in the nominative case. And if you look at your list of nominative pronouns, you will see that I is a nominative pronoun, so that's the one you would use here. It's acting as the subject. Next sentence, Kira and they or Kira and them ride motorcycles. Actually, I put Kirk for mine, but whatever. It's the same idea. Kirk and something ride cycles. So we know ride is the verb, Kirk and is the subject. Subject is the nominative case, and if we looked at our nominative list, we would see that they is a nominative pronoun, not them. So the correct answer is they. Let's look at the last sentence. Again, it's a question, so change it to a statement. Instead of can you give, you would say you can give. So now we have our subject is you, can give. You can give what? You can give word. So if you remember, when you have a verb, a direct object, and something in between, that something in between there is going to be an indirect object. An indirect object is in the objective case. So then, looking over your list of objective pronouns from day 93, you would see that us is in the objective case. So us is the correct pronoun to use for an indirect object. Okay. Hopefully that all made sense. If not, catch me in class. Next thing, moving right along, we have adjectives. An adjective phrase is composed of more than one word. An adjective phrase is often, but not always, joined with and, red and green decorations. That would be an adjective phrase modifying decorations. A participle phrase can serve as an adjective phrase. Smiling at us, the girl, okay, smiling at us modifies girl. Decorated with pink frosting, the cake, okay. You can see that that's a participle phrase. The other thing I want you to notice, because we've been working on this in composition, those are sentence starters, participle sentence starters. And what do we know from composition class? Those types of sentence starters have a comma after them. So you'll see smiling at us, comma, decorated with pink frosting, comma. Those sentence starters have commas. So now your job in this sentence is to circle any adjective phrases. Broiled to perfection, the steak lay on a large sizzling platter. Along with making me hungry, this also helps me learn about a couple things with adjective phrases. What's the first one that you see? The first adjective phrase is a participle phrase, broiled to perfection. It's modifying steak. Lay on a large sizzling platter. We have a large sizzling, all modifying platter. So broiled to perfection modifies steak. A large sizzling platter. A large sizzling modifies platter. examples of adjective phrases. Wow, this one got really long. I'm sorry. Now you have 4 sentences to combine. Good luck. God bless you.